Welcome back. You're now watching the political segment of the weekend show. I thoroughly enjoyed that interview. I personally, actually, such a huge coincidence, attended Jubilee Church in Boston where Phil Thompson's father pastors over. So I've been a witness. I consider myself a product of that church. So please attend the event that's happening in Abuja tomorrow at 3 p.m. in Family Worship Center. Our discussion today on the political segment is focused on the 2020 budget. Earlier this week, President Muhammadu Buhari presented the 2020 appropriation bill to lawmakers at the National Assembly. This budget is expected to take effect from January 2020. Joining us in today's program to discuss this issue, we have
with us in the studio Honorable Ofumelu Vincent, a member of the National House of Representatives, representing Oyi Ayemelum Federal Constituency. Welcome to the weekend show, sir.
Thank you very much.
Honorable Sir, quickly, the President stated that the main emphasis of this budget is to see to the completion of ongoing infrastructural projects that he started in his first term. Can you talk to me more about this, and how would you rate his perceived success thus far?
Anyway, first of all, I remain Honorable Vincent Ofumelu, member representing the good people of Oyi and Imen Federal Constituency of Anambra State. Mr. President has did very well, not only to have presented the budget on time, but to have mandated all the ministers of the Federation to stay back to the country to defend their budgets. That's, I give him a lot of commendation. The issue of abandoned projects, what he has presented to us is something we know from the debates we made in the National Assembly. It's something we know that will take care of all abandoned projects. He has done very well if it is well implemented. Going by section 81 sub 1 of 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, it provides, because now Constitution is the ground norm, which provides that Mr. President should prepare and lay the so-called estimated bill to the members of National Assembly. He has done that, and he has done it timely by the way of provision of Section 1 of Financial Year Act, which states that such an estimate shall be presented on or before 31st of December of every year. In fact, 90% of the people that debated at the National Assembly gave him a lot of recommendation for that, to have followed the law. There's a popular saying in our place, which says that Osita Adebama Madebalubo. He has given a lot of remark, which says that if good things start today, it has started early. He has done a lot of things good to Nigeria, but this one is amazing.
So, Honorable, the reason I asked you that question is because I see from the breakdown of the budget that the aggregate expenditure is about 10.3 trillion, while the capital expenditure is about 2.14 trillion. The President has said that he doesn't intend to start off new projects. He doesn't want to leave any projects abandoned. He wants to complete those which he has started in his first term. From your perspective as a legislator, as a person who is meant to be providing oversight for this government, do you believe this budget is in line with the vision that the President has elucidated?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, just to add to that, Honorable. So the budget has been increasing on a yearly basis. Now we talk about diversification. The budget is still being calculated based on about 305, 306 for oil revenue. An aide to the President stated on how most of the budget will be funded by the increased VAT, which for people earning above 25 million and the like. So there's a lot of estimations and projections. But in reality, looking at a country where we've been talking about diversification of the economy. Education is still very low. Healthcare is still very low. Someone stated that, for instance, the National Assembly has more allocation than education and healthcare. Agriculture, how do we expect to grow the economy with this diversification which you speak of when we are not putting in the funds which would help trigger this development?
And we ordinarily, like myself, during my own debates, I emphasize more on agriculture. All you've said is very right, but I emphasize more on agriculture. So I reason with you. Agriculture ordinarily ought not to be 3 billion naira. Agriculture should be the paramount. Should be number one. Health, fine. But somebody who is hungry cannot take medication. Your doctor must tell you to go and eat. And there's hunger everywhere. There's hunger in the country. You and I know, Mr. President is aware, but I strongly believe that he's doing something about that.
But the budget should reflect that.
Sorry?
The budget ideally should reflect that something is being done about
That
this.
is it. There must be a supplementary budget to amend agriculture, to come up a little bit. Agriculture should be number one. Giving works and housing, 263 billion. Given power, 127 billion. Then agriculture is 3 billion. If you are hungry, my brother, even if there is light everywhere, you cannot enjoy it. If you are hungry, there is houses everywhere, you cannot enjoy it. Even security. You may even prefer the armed robber or a criminal to come and shoot you so that you die off when you are hungry. So I believe agriculture should be number one. They should appropriate a reasonable sum of money, but we are working towards that. I think Mr. Speaker heard me very well when I spoke at the National Assembly. And I am a member of Agric Committee, House Committee on Agric. I made my impact there. Then ordinarily I'm a farmer. I was and I'm still a farmer. I came from the area where people in my place take agriculture as number one. The only problem is that we are being marginalized. IMM is known for farming, particularly rice farming. Another thing I want to advise is that when it comes to issue of, appropriating the sum of money allotted to agriculture, they should look into rice farming. Government should look into rice farming. Why?
But this has been reported as a success.
You can't say that you are abandoning people from importing rice without making a good plan for local production.
Yeah, but Honorable, this government has spoken about the successes which we've experienced, the rice revolution in Kano, in Kebbi, and other states. So is this a responsibility for the federal government or the state governments at this point?
Anyway, I think it's a responsibility of the federal government.
Okay.
Yes, and they are doing marvelously well to see to that.
Honorable, I wonder perhaps if you and your colleagues have somewhat failed in your duty to Nigerians to oversee the implementation of past budgets. I know for the 2019 budget, we've only had about 3 months of implementation, so it's really hard for us to assess its success thus far. But we come on national television and we debate these issues, which is well and good, but you and your colleagues have been elected into a position where you can directly oversee the implementation. Now, appropriation is one thing, as you well know, and allocation of these funds are another thing. If we're still using about 2.45 trillion, or the proposed 2.45 trillion to service our debt, and we're talking about raising a total of another 10.7 trillion for this budget. How does this all make sense to the ordinary Nigerian who's watching? And what role can you pledge to play moving forward to ensure that what is appropriated to setting MDAs are actually released at the end of the day, and we can see the impact on the grassroots?
Thank you very much. I think you are talking about implementation. Implementation has to do with Section 11 of Fiscal Responsibility Act, which states that there must be a time frame within which a framework, a medium within which this money should be spent. Coming to issue of release, just like I gave you an adage earlier before I started, it has not been so well, but from today and from what I am seeing, the Nigeria government, is getting it right. If this money is the budget is being passed before 31st of December, and money is being released as at when due, the issue of debt, he who owes must pay. You cannot, because of something that has gone wrong, if Nigeria is owing a particular country, you avoid them from paying. They have to pay their debt. But having paid their debt, let us get it right from the remaining fund. 10-point-something trillion can take care of Nigerians, can take care of all the sectors. So the issue of debt has to be paid. Left for me, it has to be paid. And Nigerian government is doing something about that. If we clear this debt, my advice is that we should not keep on borrowing. We should stop at the ones we have borrowed. But let's clear the debt. Then utilize whatever thing that is remaining for the Nigerians to be comfortable, so that the citizens here should stop suffering.
I wish I could dig deeper into that conversation, but unfortunately we don't have enough time. But we hope you will accede when next we call on you to join us on the weekend show.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Honorable. That's all we have for you on today's program. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Weekend Show NG on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Visit our website,
www.weekendshowng.com. And we also have our programs on YouTube, so you can check on YouTube if you missed parts of this program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable, for being on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
see you next week.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Osasu Igbinedion, the host of the Osasu Show and the convener of the Osasu Show Symposium. I would like to specially invite you to the third edition of our symposium themed the 21st Century Woman and Her Role in National Development. Time 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Venue NAF Conference Center, Abuja. Date October 23rd, 2019. Don't miss it.